Hi there, welcome to the Riley Strain case. Today looking at some of the latest news in regards to the family friend calling out the fraternity brothers, those that were friends and present with Riley on the night, the day he went missing, and their behaviour afterwards was somewhat questionable. We've already seen it from the family's point of view, that they are wondering why there was a level of silence, wonder why there wasn't any urgency in calling police, etc. Now we're going to take a look at it from a different perspective of another individual, the family friend. We're going to get into the article, read what it's all about, see what's been mentioned, anything new of interest, and if anyone is here watching this live premiere, you can share your thoughts, opinions in the live chat on the right hand side of the screen, and you can leave your thoughts and comments down below under this video. Take in mind, top right corner of the screen where the I symbol is. If you click on that, you'll be able to catch up on my recent videos, okay? And last but not least, big shout out to Watcher Crazy, Christy in recent time, Maria, of course, and Shichu in recent time for their support on this channel. So without further ado, let's get straight into this article, see what it's all about. The title reads, Riley Strain's family friend slams fraternity brothers for producing no photos of his final moments and said the homeless encampment next to the river where he died is an absolute jungle. This was by James Cerrone for Daily Mail, 18th of April 2024, just yesterday, as it's moment in time of speaking. So it'll be interesting to see what Riley Strain's family friend has to say. The bit about calling out the fraternity brothers for producing no photos of his final moments, I don't quite understand that. What are they referring to there? Because, I mean, in defence of the fraternity brothers, at the time, before Riley went missing and before he was kicked out of the bar, I mean, are you expected to be taking photos of an individual before they disappear forever and then found dead later? There's no expectation, there's no anticipation that this is the last time you'll ever see that individual, so you better take a photo in that moment. I don't know what it's getting at here. It seems like that's what it's hinting at. It's a bit weird. As Riley Strain, 22, vanished March 8th, found dead 14 days later. Riley's parents slammed his fraternity brother's friends for being completely unhelpful. As said from the previous interview, the parents have had to beg and reach out to the fraternity brothers for answers, but it wasn't the other way around, but it should have been, right? And as well as we heard, the fraternity brothers, the day after Riley going missing, whilst the family were worried and concerned, the fraternity brothers were too busy partying and going to their whatever you call it event. So they had, priorities elsewhere besides caring for their friend. It says University of Missouri friends are also reportedly refused to share photos of Strain. That's a bit weird. Yeah. So how it's worded here, if it ties in with the title, is it because on that night before Riley went missing, the fraternity brothers took photos of one another when they were out in town partying and in the different bars? Kind of like how people can take selfies and random photos, just messing about, having fun, and then as you'd expect, people would upload them online later. Are we saying here that the fraternity brothers did take photos of each other, including Riley, on that night? And then fast forward onwards when it be the parents or maybe the police, they require any evidence or any material, the fraternity brothers are refusing to share photos of Strain on that specific night. If that's what it really means, that's a little bit suspicious, right? I mean, first of all, not reporting him to the police as missing is a bit odd. Why are you not reaching out to authorities if you got something to hide? Then not assisting or reaching out to family with additional details of what may have happened or what did happen. A little bit suspicious. Then resisting or refusing to provide photos on the night. Even more weird. What are they hiding? Because that's what it comes across as. They're not willing to cooperate. Maybe only when they've got no choice but to, such as that day or the day after Riley's disappearance, where they were speaking to some police officer. They had no choice then. Nevertheless, let's continue reading. Riley Strain's family friend has hit out its fraternity brothers for failing to share any pictures or videos of his final moments, and claims the homeless encampment next to the river where he was found dead is an absolute jungle. Right. Okay. So supposedly photos or videos were taken in his final moments of when he was last seen on the 8th. Weird. The family dispute claims that Strain fell into the Cumberland River whilst drunk despite an autopsy ruling out foul play, and have raised questions as to why he was found half naked. So his boots missing, his pants, trousers missing, his wallet missing from him when his body was found. The bit where it says about no foul play, it also said the autopsy report stated there was no water found in the lungs, and they said no sign of drowning. But Christy, a viewer on this channel, Christy did suggest that there is a thing such as dry drowning. I don't know if anyone else has heard that before. Speaking to News Nation, anchor Elizabeth Vargas' family friend Chris Dingman said there was no physical way Strain accidentally fell into the water. When discussing the nearby homeless encampment, he said, "It's like an absolute jungle. There is no clear visible shot to the water, let alone the fact that Riley would have went by the homeless camps and the people staying in them to even get to the water." So the bit of distance apart, right? Highlighting that it's just not possible, or he just wouldn't have that in his mind at the time. But in terms of maybe accidentally falling or stumbling about, that is definitely possible from like when we saw the CCTV footage, and in addition, the supposed report from the homeless people that he stumbled into a bush. And we stumbled into a bush, well, as described as a jungle, quite a bit of vegetation, though the argument against would be with all that vegetation, right, and if you was to stumble or fall, maybe the odd tree or branch would stop you from going into the water, right? But, you know, the homeless people could be using some kind of excuses in the background. Dingman also added to the family's criticism of Strain's Delta Chi fraternity members who did not stay with their struggling brother after he was thrown out of Luke Bryan's bar on March 8th and left to stumble around downtown Nashville. Yes, we did highlight that previously in my very first video, I think, where I was saying how, well, if someone's quite out of it and they don't look quite well, it could be considered vulnerable, harm to themselves. You need at least someone to help walk that person back home, especially if they have to walk it and they've got no taxi or cab service. So, yeah, the brothers, friends, all of them or some let Riley down. But it was supposedly said that in the moments of being kicked out the bar, Riley said to the fraternity brothers that he'll meet them back at the hotel. The question is, did the fraternity brothers raise any questions or any buts, saying, are you sure, Riley? Do you want one of us to walk you back? Never really heard that, so I don't know if there's any additional dialogue there. Here it says, he claimed neither Strain's friends nor the parents have shared pictures or videos of his final moments from that night. So even the parents of Strain's friends, the parents of the fraternity brothers, are keeping very quiet. Why are they all keeping quiet? It's as if they're all in on it. Because at the end of the day, if you're not involved in the disappearance or death of someone, and, you know, there's nothing to hide, then you should be more vocal and open. Even if you didn't have much to say or help, just the communication would help, wouldn't it? But keeping close, like a close community, keeping your mouth shut, not doing, saying or helping in any way, especially when you could be a person of interest, such as the fraternity brothers being the last ones to see Riley, or some of the last few individuals on that night to see him, and with proximity to ties in relations as friends, they'd be treated as a person of interest, yet they themselves aren't cooperating as others would. So it's weird. Okay, we've got some like description here. Strain, 22, his age, leaving Luke's Bridge Food Drink, Broadway, March 8th. We saw the CCTV. Dingman's photo of the steep embankment where police say Strain could have fallen into the Cumberland River. Nashville police searched a homeless encampment on the water's edge after people living there reported having seen the missing student on the night of his disappearance. On the water's edge. When it says, right, so it's saying the actual homeless people have reported seeing him nearby there. Right. Ding Mang said, "We've gotten nothing, and on top of that, I thought that maybe after the parents had done their interview last night, that maybe a parent of the fraternity brothers or sorority sisters started talking to their kids and trying to get information. At this moment, we have crickets. There's been nothing that has been said or produced at all." So radio silence, very odd. Strain's family gave an emotional interview this week questioning why his friends delayed calling the police when he vanished on the night out before taking the appalling decision to continue partying. When asked why they thought his friends delayed in calling police, his stepfather, Chris Whitehide, responded, "That's the $1 million question." So that's the person with the beard, if you remember. He also said that after searching emergency rooms for 4 hours, they arrived home to see some of the fraternity brothers waving at them as they returned from a party, as if nothing ever happened, nothing went wrong. "How does that make you feel?" he said in a News Nation interview. Ding Mang remarked, "It's extremely frustrating. It's probably a good thing that I wasn't there." Fair enough. Strain's stepdad Chris Whitehide claims somebody helped Strain into the water. Strain was seen stumbling around the streets of Nashville on the night he vanished. Ding Mang took photos at the riverbank where Strain was found and said there was no physical way the University of Missouri student accidentally fell into the water. "We've been trying to explain to people from day one it's just extreme terrain," Ding Mang said as pictures of the steep embankment flashed on the News Nation broadcast. He added that police had to tie off ropes to rappel down to where Strain had reportedly been before he ended up in the river, raising further doubt on what actually happened. And this is the thing, whilst the family and the stepfather was saying in the interview that if there is proof of an accident, then show us and we'll accept it. But that hasn't happened yet, okay? Oh, notification. What it goes to show is there's not been enough proof to suggest this or that, but there are questions and possibilities which could highlight, possible foul play, as an example. If Riley was going down that jungle area near the encampment and you had to rappel down, and if he was truly stumbling around, he would have fallen, okay? Fallen into the water or fallen down, then rolled into the water, depending what the water levels were like. Surely there would have been bruises and marks on him if he did fall about and if he did drop from a height, surely. Yet there was no reports of that. What else do we have? Strain disappeared. After videos of Strain ambling through Nashville went viral, his body was found 14 days later. A preliminary autopsy found that Strain's body had no cuts or bruises to suggest foul play, which Ding Mang said is inconsistent with the fall police described. So it's the police that initially put this as a possibility as to how he ended up in the water, yet there's not enough proof to back it up, such as from the autopsy. So doesn't seem likely, does it? The medical examiner also said there was no water in Strain's lungs, which sheds even more mystery on how he died. There was talk about a second autopsy, weren't they? Has that happened yet? I'm not too sure. Strain's body was found, 8 miles from where he disappeared. That's a fair bit of distance. But then again, you got to understand that you can fall in water close by, and if there's a stream, a current, it can take you on. You can go down the river, you can go down the lake, wherever you are. If there's a flow of water, your body can be transported, right? Riley Strain's mum, Michelle Whitehide, said her son texted her to tell her his drink tasted strange hours before, tasted of barbecue, bit weird. Michelle Strain Whitehide left, and her husband Chris Wright, they said they were shocked when Strain's fraternity brothers carried on partying. There's just no physical way that Riley could have fallen on any type of those limbs and not had serious body problems with him, Ding Mang said. Strain's parents raised the possibility this week that someone helped their son into the water. If he truly fell in the water and you can prove that to me, show me. stepfather Chris told News Nation. But I can tell you from all the stuff that we've done as far as searching, looking, taking pictures, I don't feel like it's really possible to happen. He may have fallen, somebody helped him into the water, Chris Whiteeye said. Strain's mother Michelle also revealed that Strain texted her only hours before about the rum and coke tasting different, which was unusual. Maybe there was something in it that shouldn't have been, Michelle said, explaining that her son told her the drink tastes like barbecue. Possible spiking. That appears to be it for the article here. So, due to the fraternity brothers' actions, behaviours, or should I say lack of actions, it just gets a bit more stranger by the day, okay? Not kind of reluctant to do this, possibly lack of urgency, lack of helping, resisting against simply sharing some photos and videos on the night. Why would you need to hide that? If you got photos of Riley or videos and it's before he's gone missing, before he's died, before he parted ways with the fraternity brothers and went off by himself, why does it need to be like a wall of silence regarding that? What is there to hide, okay? Maybe, just maybe, if the fraternity brothers aren't willing to share photos or videos of what they got up to on that night, is there a possibility that the CCTV footage in the bars will highlight what happened and if anyone spiked his drink, right? If someone out of that whole group of friends spiked his drink, possibly as a prank, maybe they're all protecting one another or that one individual responsible, and they're all keeping tight-knit and silent, and the parents are also advising them to keep quiet too. I wonder. These different possibilities, and if at the end of the day the fraternity brothers and the parents of them are all truly innocent, why is it taking this long, and why have they dug themselves into a hole to come across as very suspicious, okay? If they don't like being questioned or theories coming out about them, then they should talk and cooperate. Not with the general public, but with the family or at least the police. That hasn't happened either. So what's the big delay? What's the big issue? Why the silence? It just seems very odd, okay? So I think what's needed, if they're not going to talk, the CCTV footage needs to do the talking from within the bars at least, and then it might open up something. Is there a small chance that the photos and videos of that night, they might have got involved in some dodgy behaviour and actions which may not be illegal but could get them in trouble by someone, the parents or the university or whatever you call it, whoever they're a part of, any immoral acts, I don't know, any forms of embarrassment. But to be honest, you know, if you put that before the death of someone, then maybe the people got the priorities in the wrong area, but they're protecting themselves first before helping the remaining victims, which would be the family, worried and concerned as to what's happened. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there for now. We'll see what happens next. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night for now.